Have you ever wanted to learn 3D sculpting? Well, this course right here is perfect for you. With over 30 hours of content, we're going to be learning everything we need to know about sculpting by sculpting me. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to be sculpting me, but we are going to be sculpting 4 different sculpts and learning the whole sculpting workflow from A to Z. We're going to be learning about sculpting, anatomy, retopologizing, UV unwrapping, texturing, animating, rigging, and so much more. Like I said, in the over 30 hours of content, we are going to be covering it all. Now, who am I? My name is Alex Cordobard, and for the last 10 or so years, I've been doing and teaching 3D arts and animations to tens of thousands of people. I have over 30,000 students right here on Udemy and several bestsellers as well. All right, this is exciting. In this course, we're going to be sculpting 4 different sculpts. Now, with every sculpt, we're going to start with the reference image and then go from A to Z. Our very first sculpt is going to be this cool little fish here, and we're going to learn all about the different brush settings, brushes, and much, much more. We're then going to also learn about retopologizing and retopologize our fish right here so that we could then texture it and add in some colors. We're also going to be learning about normal maps, how to create normal maps, and using normal maps to add in more detail to our sculpt. You can see right off the bat, we are kicking it off good from A to Z. Our second sculpt is going to be this cool creature sculpt right here, and we're going to learn all about sculpting asymmetrical meshes, how to sculpt with separate body parts so that we can have more control over our mesh and create this really cool creature. We're then going to build on our previous knowledge and learn more about the sculpt brushes, more settings, so that once again we could create this really cool creature sculpt right here. We're going to learn about automatically retopologizing so that we don't have to do it by hand. And then, of course, UV unwrapping and texturing our model right here. We're going to be using texture images, see how we could make scars by sculpting scars and skin imperfections, and a bunch of other things. We're also going to be rigging our sculpt and then posing it for a final rendered image. And if that already wasn't enough, in our third sculpt, we are kicking it into even higher gear by sculpting this really cool demon minotaur creature. Now with this one, we are delving deep. We are going to be learning about the anatomy of a human-like creature. And this is really cool because once you learn the anatomy of something, it gives you a better understanding of how it's structured and makes it easier to sculpt it. So in this one, we are going to not only sculpt it, but learn the whole anatomy of this creature right here, which is really cool, and it's going to help you in future sculpts. Once we've done that, we are going to be building upon what we learned previously, learning some more brushes, settings, and also detailing this creature and learning different sculpt methods, which is going to be a lot of fun. Then we are going to retopologize this whole sculpt right here, which again is going to be a lot of fun and teach us a lot more about the anatomy of the creature. Also, it's going to help increase our modeling skills by retopologizing this creature right here. Once we've retopologized it, we are going to go ahead and create more details using some different methods once again. And here we are going to not only learn how to create details with brushes, but also use alpha images and alpha maps to create things such as scars and different imperfections on the skin. We're also going to learn how to sculpt things like veins and little indentations in the sculpt so that we could really refine the sculpt and have something that looks really, really sweet. Again, this course covers so much stuff that it's hard for me to go over everything in this short little video, but just know that it is packed with sculpting goodness. Once we've sculpted this, we are going to UV unwrap it and texture it using different methods with texture brushes and texture maps and images, and also how to overlay different textures and colors on top of previous ones. Again, we are going to cover everything in this course from A to Z of sculpting. We're of course going to fully rig this character so that it is completely animatable, and then create a cool little animation at the end of this section with our demon minotaur sculpt. Then our fourth and final sculpt is going to be the bust of a character. We're going to create this cool little cartoonish girl right here. And once again, building on the previous skills and knowledge of sculpting, we're also going to learn some new techniques and new skills. We're going to learn things such as how to sculpt hair and clothes and a bunch of other things. Now, as you can see, this course is absolutely packed with sculpting goodness. It goes from A to Z of sculpting, and we sculpt 4 different sculpts going from A to Z. We go through the whole process, from sculpting to anatomy, retopology, UV unwrapping, texturing, rigging, animating, and so much more. As you can see, there is way too much for me to cover in this short little video, but this course, you are absolutely going to love it. It's going to give you the skills that you need to take an idea in your head and bring it into reality in Blender via the art of sculpting. So with that, click the button, get the course. I know you're absolutely going to love it. I've poured my heart and my soul into it once again. So click the button, get the course. I'll see you in there. Ciao for now. Au revoir. It is time for a sculpting adventure.